Oh,
Yo,
can you hear me?
yes, sir.
How's it going, man?
How you doing?
Good, good. Uh, yeah, man, I've been watching your content for only a few couple weeks.
Uh
Been
oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh.
you had me. I was, I did some things that you definitely frown upon, but I did some other things too that you always I see you preach all the time on here. So,
Mhm.
but really, man, like I said, I did some things that you kind of frown upon. First I started, I didn't quit my job and I ain't got three kids or nothing like that. So,
Okay. All right.
but so I this beginning this year I started looking into industries to get into and start my own lane.
Mhm.
Kind of work like I'm a GM of a restaurant. I make a decent living up where I live.
Mhm.
Um, so I started doing some research and came across the box trucking industry, right?
Mhm.
And I didn't know anything. I've done some logistics. I worked for UPS for a while. I've worked in
Mhm.
some warehouses doing trailer loading, unloading, all that stuff. So I kind of understand, some of the more basic points of it.
Mhm.
Um, got on a consultation with someone. It seemed sweet, seemed real sweet. Got my head floating, box truck dreams, maybe some cargo van money. But you know,
You don't
I
want to go
started.
divulge that. You don't want to say who that was that you got on the call with.
Yeah, I was what's his name? Jabbar, box truck shoddy.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, so you wanted to do
Yeah.
Amazon?
Yeah. I
Oh,
wanted to
okay.
do Amazon. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And before I even hopped in on anything, I booked a consultation with him.
Mhm.
Just because from what I was, what I had studied is like, I checked Amazon Relay before I even consulted him, and I saw that they have
Mhm.
that 180-day waiting period. I'm like, damn, man, can't just jump into a truck and not know if I'm gonna have work for it. So, I consulted with him. you know, he helped me out a little bit, told me what I need to do to get going as far as like starting the business, making sure I'm in compliance, doing all that stuff. So while I was working the past, what was it, April, past 4 months, I take a little bit of my money that I make, started my LLC, got my EIN,
Mhm.
paid a compliance company to help me set up my DOT and my MC. Called some insurances, starting to get some quotes on that shit.
Mhm.
Got some of that back leg stuff out of the way. All the while, it's, like you said, like some people just jump in and don't have a plan. That's not the way I go about it. Like I said, I'm pretty successful in my field. I make about 70K where I'm at. So,
Mhm.
and that's not a little bit of money.
Mhm.
But I just kind of got sick of, no, I'm not saying I got sick of working because I'll work, man, all the time, right? Nonstop.
Mhm.
But I just kind of got sick of helping someone else make hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I'm seeing it because I'm the one in the store every single day doing it. So
Mhm.
I got it, just was like, fuck it, man. Like, I got the work ethic, I got the drive, I got funds, you know. But I stumbled across one of your videos, and it was one of those dudes from Detroit, who wanted to do the three. He wanted to start out with the three trucks. That was the first video I watched of yours.
Mhm.
And the one thing that you kept saying that I didn't even really understand was the what's your operating cap, right?
Mhm.
Like I might have all this back leg shit already paid for while I'm still making money, but like, what am I going to operate with, right? And I got a little bit, right? I probably have, by the time I wanted to get started up, I'll have about 6,000, 7,000 operating capital. But then you just kept saying it, and this shit just kept eating at me, box truck dreams, maybe a little bit of cargo van money, and why not go that route, right? So kind of switch my platform and my pivot to, you know, getting into cargo vans. You know, I mean, it's kind of more of what I've actually done. Like I said, I used to do door-to-door delivery for UPS for about 2 years.
Mhm.
So, it's something that I know I've done, I've liked, I was cool with. And, I've been doing my market research, got my business plan, doing my I literally was before your live stream, I was on one of your episodes about starting. like what you need to do to start a business plan and stuff. So, I was writing down my mission statement, defining my concepts, doing my market research. I've been doing that every single day for about 6, 7 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I guess I just kind of question like what, like just kind of hearing all that, like what kind of advice can you give to me to keep me headed down the right path on this?
It sounds like you're on the right path. It sounds like you were unsure.
I was sorry. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Go
Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was, and I was doing all the, trying to calculate cost per mile, what is going to be, you know, wanted to go the rental route because that's what Jabbar kind of, his mentorships or his coaching, that's kind of what he pushes and stuff. But like, I just couldn't get behind. Like, part of me just didn't sit right with me. And then so I started checking on other creators. That's how I came across you.
What didn't
And I
sit
was
right
just
with
like,
you?
man, well, probably the pricing. Like you said, everyone's like, oh, I don't pay for maintenance in the vans when you rent or whatever. But like you said, that shit's baked in, man. The rental companies need to make their money, so all their maintenance is baked in, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of,
Mm-hmm.
I knew that kind of shit already.
Mm-hmm.
But just like the price per day, right? Like, how much am I gonna be needing to make per day? That breakdown, right? We got my monthly, and all projections because I don't have anything finalized, but you know my monthly fee or my monthly expenses broken down to a week, broken down to a day. And I was just like, man, there's just not a huge margin if I'm trying to run one box truck rented.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I've watched plenty of your videos about the cargo van industry lately, and I pretty much just settled on the pivot, man, before I even pay for the insurance for my MC and DOT to be active, before I try to put a fucking either a payment on a rental truck or anything like that. I'm gonna be talking to my bank tomorrow. I'm gonna try to set up a thing I drive like a 2017 Buick, so I'm trying to just, you know, push that, get out of it and somehow get it to where I can just have a cargo van, and that's just sitting here. I'm in a pretty decent situation living wise. I take care of my grandparents or live at their house with them. So I don't really have like, I don't pay rent or nothing because I take care of them, so they take care of that. And my wife works. We ain't got no kids, so like I feel like I'm in that perfect avenue, in that perfect situation where everything's kind of culminating for me to go out there and grab what I want.
Where do you live at?
I live up in Wisconsin. I live literally. I'm in smack dab in between Green Bay, Madison, and Milwaukee. So I'm like right in the center of
You
Wisconsin.
you 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 look familiar. Did you used to work for like a moving company on the side?
No, 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 no. I'd never worked for no moving company, unfortunately. Did you
S-
do work up here?
No, you just look
Like I said, I
familiar.
used to be. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I said, I
So
used to be in warehouses all the time. So,
so you're up by Green Bay.
yep, Green Bay. I'm 50 miles from Green Bay and 50 miles from Milwaukee and 50 miles from Madison, essentially.
Yeah, you look like
Oh,
this
I'm
guy I
sorry. It's
saw.
just about.
You look like this guy that I saw in a picture. I don't know you personally, but I recently was looking at
Yeah.
another subscriber who has a moving company up that way, and one of the workers he had kind of looked like you. You ever heard of this moving
Yeah.
company
No.
called Everybody's Movers? Everybody's Mover.
No. No.
Okay.
No. I ain't never heard of them. No.
All right. So you make 70,000. You're up in Green Bay, right? And you want to quit your
Not
seventy
south of
thousand
there,
dollars.
but yeah.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
want to quit your $70,000 a year job to get a cargo van.
Yeah.
All right.
Grind.
Yeah, I hear you. What you gonna do with the cargo van?
So I've been looking at a bunch of stuff, right? And I've been scouring Indeed, looking up other logistics brokers and stuff like that that offer even some sort of dedicated route or like some sort of freight options. Like I got like I said, I got a bunch of shit written down. I got like Spoke, Capstone. I'm looking at Relay Express, Echo Express, which they actually have a bunch of work right now, right on Indeed. When I was looking it up earlier today, looking at some other like just like moving shit, like I don't know if like pick up is or like there's these like other trucking ones where it's like more for like trucks, like like Ford F-150 type stuff where you're just hauling furniture and shit. So I looked up some
Mm.
of these other apps like Curry, Load Up, ShareTown, Roadies, Spark, Spoke, Echo, Viho, Bungie, just like just kind of trying to see what the market looks like out here and if there's work available right away.
All right, so check it
But
out.
I also don't plan on absolutely quitting a job. Like I want to go get the cargo van because, I mean, I have a passive income that comes in every month no matter what that covers a cargo van payment. And like I said, I don't have many other expenses.
What type of van you looking at?
So I was looking at some of the shit you're talking about, like Ford Transits, man. They're all over Chicago right now. I saw a warehouse. I was just down in North Carolina driving through Chicago, and I saw plenty warehouses full of just old Amazon van looks like. And I saw one of your videos saying that, Amazon's getting rid of all their old fleet, stripping the decals and selling these things off. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, you can curse. We don't care about like ad revenue and stuff like that over here. You can curse. It's cool.
All right, all right. Yeah, like you said, it's a trucker thing, so some of us
Yeah,
got some dirty mouths.
that's what I'm saying. We got it's a trucker channel, like filthy mouths. We can't censor an industry where there's filthy mouths everywhere. It's crazy, right? So,
Yeah.
um, I don't know, man. Like, why do you live with your grandparents? Are you taking care of them?
Yeah, me and my wife help take care of them. I mean, like they're not like disabled or anything. They're just old and they just kind of need help with stuff around the house. So there's two
Okay.
of us here, so we, try to look out for the
So,
family.
so you have to stay local. You can't go
I don't
OTR.
have to. No, 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 no. I could go OTR. Like if I absolutely had to, I could go OTR, and I wouldn't mind it at all. And me and my wife have already been talking about all this, so she already knows what what could potentially happen. So we're both on the same page with it.
And you just tired of your job?
I'm just tired of making other people millions of dollars, man. When I got the
Oh
same work
God.
ethic and the same.
Fuck, man. God damn, man.
I don't think I'm gonna like jump in and make $1 million. I ain't like that kind of person, man. I
Why
just
does
want to do something
everybody
for myself.
why no, the way you answered the question, you count
Oh,
other people's pockets, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, what what does their pockets have to do with you?
their pockets don't have anything to do with me.
You're not they provide okay, so you build a company. Look at it like this.
Mhm.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I mean it's almost like hypocritical. Because think about it like this. You build a company and you need people to work for you, right?
Mhm.
What if everybody that you hired looked at you the same way you're looking at the company? You'd have a pretty hard time, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd have a hard time keeping people. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So when people say that to me, I don't understand it. Like, because you want to start a company to scale, to build it, but the reason why you're quitting is the same reason people are going to look at you. I don't understand, bro. I don't understand. Like, I mean, here's the thing. So you want to work for yourself, fine. But is that the only reason you just don't want to keep making other people money? Is that the only reason?
No, no. Oh no, I want to provide a bit.
You want to do what?
I want to decide to go.
You your internet kind of glitched there for a minute. Say it again. I'm sorry.
No, I said, it's not just that. I want to try to build a better life for myself, and you know, take the chance on myself.
Okay.
I'm driven. You know, I'm not like some
All
of these
right.
other people that come on here, like you said, that they don't want to go, they don't want to put in the work. I'm willing to put in the work.
All
I'm
right.
willing to be the only person to start out. I'm willing to put years in the cab if I have to.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I mean, if listen, I'm not the one. I said I'm not gonna like wait unless it's like an extreme case where like someone is like don't got enough money. Like we had cases that come up there like people just don't have no money, like kids and shit like that, and they like got these big dreams and they ain't got like those situations. I tell a person they crazy. But like here's the thing: if you want to quit your $70,000 a year job to because a lot of those companies you name were gig apps. I wouldn't recommend quitting a job, purchasing a van to run gig apps because then that just make you a gigger. And there's nothing wrong with being a gigger, right? There's nothing wrong with being a gigger, but the gig economy is not sustainable because it's uncertain. It's more uncertain than the logistics industry at a whole. Like if you were running like spot market freight off the load board, right? If you want to quit your job to start a cargo van business and be a cargo van owner operator, then go for it. Now, you want to ask me what I would do?
Sure. What would you do?
Your grandparents, they house paid for?
Yeah.
Do you pay them any like rent or anything?
No, that's all covered just for
Okay.
they just,
Okay.
want me here to take care of them.
So do they pay you to take care of them? You get like health hospice or whatever they call that stuff, home health.
No.
Okay.
No.
So you make 70,000 a year and your wife works, right?
Yep.
I'm not going to ask you but what your wife makes, but I'm pretty sure she makes over 30,000 a year, so you're over 100K a year combined.
Hmm.
You don't have any that house is paid for, so you ain't got no house note, no rent. Do you help with any of the the utilities?
Yeah, when if they need it, I would, yeah, but they haven't asked for it yet, but it's not like I
Okay.
don't have it.
Do you and your wife have a car?
Yeah.
Got car notes or the paid
Each.
cars are paid for?
Uh I have a note.
What's
Her
your note?
car, she don't my note right now is like 379.
Yeah, 379. Her she don't have a note.
No.
So all your money, you banking it.
Yeah.
So you got a nice little hefty little sack. You should have a nice hefty sack.
It's all right.
It's all right. You don't pay no bills.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't always been like that though. That was more something that came up new this past over the past year. But like, I had, I have little. I don't have like a lot of credit card debt. I got like $2,000 on a credit card, $3,000, whatever.
I'm talking about liquid. If you're working a job, you're
Oh,
making 70, your wife is making
yeah,
money and you're not paying none of the house expenses. Her car is paid for. Your car is relatively cheap. Where's all the money going?
yeah. Well, I put in a lot of money in restoring the house. Like I renovated a lot of it out of pocket. Water heaters, furnaces. Had to put in a second bathroom because there's 4 people living here. Had to repaint the whole house, new carpet, clean outs. They just had a lot of stuff we had to get rid of. So a lot of I wouldn't say a lot, like most of my money was going towards that, but I still have some.
All right. Well, if you want to start a cargo van business, have at it. I think life is going to be harder for you,
Hmm.
but I mean, if you're willing to go through the tough times to get to the end of the rainbow to the pot of gold, then go have at it.
Oh, okay. I mean, like you said, a lot of those things were gig apps. Like, what what other avenues? I mean, like I know I've seen you talk about like medical carrier, finding like a dedicated route that's early in the morning, then supplementing with the gig apps.
Well, I'm gonna tell you
Like,
this: where you're at is not much opportunity locally. I can tell you that now. Your best bet is going to be Milwaukee.
yeah.
Racine is probably not going to be much better than Milwaukee, and Madison ain't going to be much better either. Your best bet is probably going to come out of Milwaukee. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the opportunity in Milwaukee, it's just not. I mean, what's the population in Milwaukee? It's less than 1 million people,
Um,
right?
yeah. th- In the city, yeah. When they combine the whole outskirts, it's a little bit over 1 million.
Uh, 500,000 people, not even close, but 500,000. So opportunities scarce, right? Pay is gonna reflect the opportunity. You know, it's a gamble. You're in a small market. There's a guy that's in my. He's in here. He's actually was featured on one of those videos that came out last week. He's right up there in Green Bay. Opportunity is spotty. Just people up in that area. It's a lot of homes up there. Not it's apartments up there, but a lot of people up there are homeowners, and it's just not a lot going on up there in that area that you're in. And everything locally is coming out of Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
So you making 70,000 in a cargo van in that market doing dedicated work is going to be tough. Dedicated cargo van in my market that's running like office supplies doing somewhere around that 100,000 on the high end, 70,000, 75,000 on average because it's by the pieces. Those types of contracts pay you per piece. The more pieces, the more money you make, right? But also the market also determines how much you get paid per piece, right? Obviously, I'm using my market as a comparison tool, not because I'm right next to you, but because we're 2.5 million more people than you, third largest city.
Yeah.
And if this is what an average cargo van that's running, let's say, small parcel is doing here, obviously you're not going to have the volume there. So you're not going to have the pieces. And then whatever pieces that you do have, the per piece rate is going to be lower. You're going to have to supplement it with gig stuff, which is going to be competitive as well because it's less people. So it's less volume. And I don't know what the competition looks like from a gig perspective up there. Like how many people are supplementing income up there. Down here in Chicago, you have people that do it, full time. It's a struggle for them now more so than ever. But up there, I don't know how the gig economy is up there. If it's a bunch of people supplementing, are there full time people? Are there migrants up there that are, you know, hogging up all the gig work because they're literally in parking lots waiting for their thing to go off and all that shit like it is down here. Down here, it's very, very, very competitive. So you have to keep all that in mind. Now your other option
Well,
is over the road, which you'd have to, you know, you know, bid and shit like that, get selectors and all that stuff, get plugged in and start running expedited. But the
what was
guys
it
that I know,
you said? Sorry.
selectors is the load board that a lot of the expedited cargo van guys use.
Okay.
You know, but it's that load board can be a hit or a miss. You kind of gotta you kind of gotta be plugged in that niche now. Um,
Mhm.
but the guys that I know that are running expedited that are doing $4,000 a week, they're running. I'll go to sleep at night. My Discord in like the voice room, it'll be full of people. I'll go to sleep. I'll wake up in the middle of the night. They're still in there. They got their cameras on driving. I'll get up in the morning. They're still in there arguing back and forth, just shooting the shit, keeping each other woke. Some of their cameras on. They're still driving. These guys are driving 16, 20 hours. And one guy dropped 22 hours. They're not under the regulations like box trucks, but this is what needs to be done in that niche to get that type of money. The guys that aren't making that type of money, they're not driving like these guys are. Like these guys are literally in my like I'm like, man, when you guys sleep, they're always in the Discord because they're always driving and they're having conversations, keeping each other up, shooting the shit. Like these guys are always driving. They're always driving. Always. Like they're and I'm not exaggerating it. They're always driving. That's your other option.
Now, is the DAT Lowboard not really cargo van conducive? Like, it's just not meant for that.
You can find some shit on the DAT, but a lot of the cargo van guys that run OTR expedited, they use selectors.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They use selectors. Yep. So you know, I mean, you're see, I would say just stay at your job, but I'm not like you. A situation where if you want to take the risk, you could take it. You're not a situation where I'm just gonna lean on and say, man, you better stay at your job. Me personally, knowing what I know at this point in my life, I would only tell you at this point in my life, if I was in your situation as a 45-year-old man, me personally, you could do what you want to do. I'll probably stay at that job. Me personally, I don't. You're not as old as I am. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how old you are. I don't know. You know what your risk tolerance. I mean, your risk tolerance doesn't seem like it's low. I mean, I don't know what your marriage dynamic is. How that's going to affect your marriage. I don't know how it's going to affect uh, your household, which you having to take care of your grandparents. Because like I don't want to get into too much detail. I'm kind of using my imagination. I'm 45. My mother is 70. She's getting older. So I can only imagine. I don't know if you're having to help put him in bed and help him into the bathroom and help him to like if it's
Oh
one of
no,
those things where you
not
need to
not at
physically
that
be
point.
there,
No.
right? So if it's not at that point, then what I'm saying. So there's a lot of things that I'm not aware of, but
Yeah, no. I mean, they can function on their own. I'm pretty much just here in case of emergencies.
hmm,
Take care of the house, clean. Like they can't do like cleaning and stuff like that. So like I got to clean and just that basic stuff. But like I said, it's both me and my wife. So
yeah, yeah. I think and you're already married. Like I mean, if you want to take the chance and go out and try it, then the risk that I guess the risk now would be quitting your job, leaving your job, and if it doesn't work out, what do you do then? So
Well, like I said, I'm pretty successful in my field. So like my resume is pretty solid. So I feel like even if I had to fall back in line, it wouldn't take me too long to find something
what
like
do you
in the
say? What are
area.
you in again? Did you say were you in IT or something? What did you say? I might have missed it.
No, restaurant management.
Oh, you're a restaurant manager
Yeah. So, we're
for like a
used to working
for
60,
like a
80
chain.
hours most of. Yeah, Schlotsky's. You guys only got one down in there, and we only got two up here. So, but
Schlotsky's.
yeah.
What kind of restaurant is that?
We make like deli sandwiches and stuff.
Is one in Chicago or is this
Like
one in Illinois?
uh, it's in Illinois. It's like just what's it called? I want to say it's probably like just north of Chicago.
Okay.
Like it's not in Chicago, but it's like just
Oh,
north.
okay. So you're in restaurant. Man, I wish Costa was here. Costa would be good person.
Because like I
But
even
yeah,
thought about, like yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. I mean, me personally. Go ahead. No, go say what you were gonna say. I wasn't gonna say nothing
No,
too important.
I wasn't gonna really say nothing either. So I mean, I was gonna say something, but like it probably just feeds into what I was saying before.
Yeah, me personally, me at this point, if I were you, I would probably just stay working. I mean, you could take the risk, but I'm gonna be honest with you. You get a cargo van, you go over the road, you're gonna be gone.
Mhm.
So that's just the truth of the matter. You're gonna be gone, gone. Like these guys are never home. And if you don't believe me, join the Discord, go into the general chat, and just see them. You got all around the USA, Axel's in there, Costa's in there, D Jenkins is in there, Shark World. Who else is cargo van expedited? Uh, those are 4 or 5 right there. It's more, but these guys are just always driving, just always. Axel, I was in the Discord the other night. He pulled over just to take a little rest. He fell asleep with the van running and the headlights on for like 3 or 4 hours. We could see because he has his camera on, and he's just asleep. This is how these guys run. He just passed out. So we're looking at his camera and him just facing the damn trees because these guys are. And then he wakes up and he just starts driving again, like like nothing never happened. So it's life as an expedited OTR guy in a cargo van. You put your little cot in the back of the van, and that's what you do. You drive. hmm Is that something you want to do? You want to give up, like? And I'm not saying. I'm just asking. Because a lot of people don't really realize what it is until they get into it. You're dealing with customers every day. You're meeting people. You're mobile. Because you can walk around and move around and stuff like that. Is that something you want to leave behind to just drive across the country in a van?
Honestly, yeah, man. Like,
Okay.
like the money's good and all, but like I'm not happy anymore. So why just stay somewhere just because the money's good? Why not? The way I see it is like, why not take a chance on yourself as long as you do it the right way? Um, you know, like I said, like we've had long talks about this for 4 months about like what the possibilities could be, what
Mm-hmm.
I could be gone for 14, 15 hours, 16 hours.
You say you might be
So
where for 16 hours?
be gone. I might not be around here, like at the
No, no,
house.
no, no. If you go OTR, you're gonna be gone for days, not 16 hours.
Oh
You're gonna
yeah,
be you're gonna be driving for 16 hours in the opposite
yeah,
direction. Not You're not gonna be gone. It's not like you're gonna leave the house and then in 16 hours you're gonna come back. You're gonna be driving for 16 hours, 18 hours, the opposite direction from home or wherever you gotta go to drop that load off, get paid, and pick another one up. See, when you're
yeah.
expedited OTR, you're gone. Like Shark,
Hmm.
he's gone for like month and a half at a time. And these are guys with kids. Here's D Jenkins. He's in here. He said he's gone for 2, 3 weeks at a time. I think he's coming out of Cali right now. He lives in PA. He's gone for 2, 3 weeks at a time. So I mean, I'm just giving you the reality. See, over here, we give you the reality. We don't just because if good is good. I could tell you you're gonna make X amount of dollars. That's great. But then you get out there and it's just driving, more driving, more driving, more driving, you know, sleeping in the back of the van, more driving, getting out, pissing, getting some food, getting back in the van, more driving, more driving. It's like you're gonna be gone for weeks, bro. So as long as you're okay with that, then you got my support. I just want to let you know what it really is. It's not no 16 hours and come back home. Now that sounds like some gig stuff, and I'm totally against getting a van to become a full time gigger. All right, we call them this gig work. I call them giggers.
Yeah, no, and like I said, like, those are just some of the things that I've looked, like I said, like I figured I'd
Don't
probably have
don't
to go OTR.
don't do it. Don't get a
And
van to get to run no gigs, especially up in northern
yeah.
Wisconsin. It's not gonna
And
go well
and
for
that's
you.
what I heard from you, like you said, you don't use the gigs to build the business, you use them to supplement. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because here's the thing: the gigs are correcting themselves too, and guess what? The harder things get in the economy, what's going to happen?
the less money there's going to be.
The more people are going to rely on them,
Oh,
which in turn, the less money because the more competition, less opportunity. The more people have to turn to supplement. See, that's why I understand why people would try to build a business on something that is designed to supplement. So now you're competing against the people who went out and thought they could build a business doing gig work, but now you got people that work 9 to 5s and career people that are doing it too because they need the extra money.
okay.
So
Um,
I wouldn't recommend buying a van to do gigs. Use that to supplement. But if
no,
you're gonna go
yeah,
OTR,
yeah.
yeah.
What about the old-fashioned way, man? Boots on the floor, going business to business, handing out business card, asking if they need carriers, just to find local work.
I mean, you're in Green Bay, Wisconsin, bro. And here's the thing: even if you were here, it's not going to fare well for you. Why? Certain level businesses use 3PLs, and guess what? The businesses that don't use 3PL, that are smaller, like boutique style business, mom and pops, you know what they use now?
UPS and FedEx and
Gig apps.
Amazon, gig
Gig
apps.
apps. Technology has the small mom and pop shop. They get the gig apps. So
Oh, yeah.
I, I mean, if you want to do it, go for it, man. You got my blessings. Now that you know what you're fully getting into, So I think in your situation, if you do it, you definitely gonna have to go OTR with it. Your market is just
Okay.
too small to, I don't think there's the local opportunity. You have to go down to Milwaukee every day. If you were able to get something, and you're probably not gonna meet what you're making now. But I mean, you said the money, you don't care about the money, so
Yeah. I mean, I just want to really just want to do something for myself. Like that's the main drive behind it.
all right. And trucking or driving is what it is, huh?
Yeah. I guess so at this point. You know, like I said, honestly, I was pretty happy driving when I was driving with UPS. So, but I
You
know
what?
that's a lot different than what I'm going to be doing.
Wait, why'd you leave UPS again?
Uh, I left UPS due to an injury. I used to play rugby. I tore my shoulder up, and at the time, they wouldn't let me come back without without restrictions, and I was on restrictions for like 6, 7 months. So I couldn't go 6, 7 months without making any money. So I just went back to went back to the restaurant industry.
Yeah, see, I don't like you uncertain. Still a lot of uncertainty with you. You are in a situation where you're kind of at a how old are you?
33.
You're in that situation that everybody is in, where you just like fed up with working your job, and you want to do something. But really, I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think you really know what it is you want to do, because even what you said a few minutes ago, like I guess so. Like that was not it was not a for sure answer.
No, yeah, yeah, it wasn't a for sure answer, but like this is the route that I feel that I do want to go. Like I don't like most other bit like a lot of other businesses that I had thought about have much higher startup costs. Like obviously I'm not saying that it's low startup costs or it's a little bit of money to get into the business, right? Like I know that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
So, but compared to some of the other things, like I don't have $100,000 to invest in starting a restaurant where the margins for restaurants are,
Small, real small.
yeah, real small. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where that is really, a niche I've been successful in, right? But
Mm-hmm.
when you sit back and reflect, it's like, all right, like, yeah, I'm successful in that field, but like, what, when I've been working for other people, what was I the most happy doing, right? I was honestly the most happy driving a truck.
You're up in Wisconsin. Schneider's school is up there. Why don't you go let Schneider pay your way through school? It's right in Green Bay, I believe. Why don't you just go to school right up there in Green Bay? I think they'll let you go to school up there unless they make you go to one of their other schools. Why don't you just go to Schneider and let them put you through their little school and just drive a rig?
Uh, I just, those big ass vehicles kind of scare me hauling those big ass trailers around, man.
Mm.
Like I know like a box truck is, it's a big ass vehicle, It's not a 53-foot trailer though, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Um, and honestly, that's pretty much the big reason why I never went through with that. It's just like
All right.
that
Well,
kind
get the.
of yeah, that kind of vehicle just ain't the right. I don't feel like it's right for me, right? Um,
Okay. Well, get the cargo van and have at it. Have at it, big dog. You'll probably do good. I like. Here's the thing. Like your situation is not like one of those situations where like I got all the theatrics I'm gonna pull out, and it's like not one of those situations where it's just like I mean you
one of my favorite. I'm sorry. One of the things you said the other day that I watched is like, you know what I'd be if I was you trying to start a business? I'd be fucking retarded. And I was like, that shit killed me. And I was like, damn.
who did I say that to?
You- I'm pretty sure you said that to the dude out of Detroit. He
Dude out
had
in Detroit.
wanted to start. He wanted to start a box company with 3 trucks, leasing onto someone's program,
Oh
leasing
yeah,
onto someone's authority.
that guy. Yeah, that dude was
I
tweaking.
don't know. It might have been a little bit paraphrased, but it was
Yeah,
essentially, "I'd be a
yeah,
fool" type
yeah.
deal, you know.
He was
So
just
like
ignorant, naive,
yeah.
ignorant, young, green. You know what I'm
And at
saying?
first, I thought you were just kind of being real mean to him. And I'm like, the more and more I listened and watched the episode, I was just like, he is right. He's just not understanding.
A lot of, well, I won't say a lot. There's probably like 10%, 12% people that think that. Some guy yesterday wrote a comment, Mark, you're too cocky. Whatever. Shut up. You soft. Like these are just soft people, bro.
Yeah.
These are people that don't understand business. They in their feelings, they get in their emotions, and nobody cares, bro, because ain't nobody coming to save them. And I prove it every time, bro. I prove it every time. Like business is not for the weak, the faint of heart, bro. So if you're feeling mad and angry and you get in your feelings because I told somebody that they don't have enough money and you listen to that ignorant ass shit that he said. He said he doesn't care to learn. It doesn't matter because
Yeah.
the Russians are
Yeah.
going
He
to
didn't
do
even want to
everything
go on the
for him.
road, dog. He didn't
He
even want to
didn't want to
drive.
go on the road, and then I, I hold him accountable for the ignorance, right?
Yeah.
Because it's ignorant. But you have 12% of people that feel, oh man, why you can't? Here go another brother down another. How the fuck I'm down in him? He ain't got shit. How can I hate on somebody that doesn't have anything? He don't got the truck. He didn't have the money. He ain't got shit. Everything he need, I got it.
Yeah.
But
That's what
people
you
get
said.
in their feelings because once upon a time, like when I came up, we listened to our elders. We listened to the people who were older, that were wiser, that had the experience. We didn't talk back, none of that. We were appreciative of them giving us, taking time to even give us game. But nowadays, when you give somebody game and it may come off assertive, right? It's considered harsh. You may come off stern, right? Because this is business. This ain't like jokey jokey. You dig what I'm saying? You in your feelings. All right, well, stay in your feelings. Call it what you want. Call me cocky, call me mean, call me this, call me that. I didn't tell him no lie. And I didn't send him no invoice neither. So what the fuck is it to you? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you'll pay a motherfucker to lie to you. So it goes back to a lot of the emotion that people wear. Like business ain't emotional. It's gonna be in the next couple weeks, it's gonna be businesses that get washed out. It's gonna be a lot of people going out of business. It's gonna be a lot of people losing money. We just had a week where a lot of people lost money because they didn't do what was in their best interest. it's what happens. Like nobody cares. The business don't care. The industry doesn't care. The economy doesn't care. There's no feelings in this shit. Like get out your feelings and get to work. If you see somebody and they're talking and what they're saying, it makes sense. Who cares how they're saying it? The reason why I was assertive with him is because I needed assertive. You watch my content long enough, I match energy. I'm not assertive with you because I'm matching your energy. If you come up here on some dumb shit, I'm gonna get on that with you. I match energy. But people ain't even got common enough sense. They'll watch everything and then they won't even pick that up. I match
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah,
So it is what it
I
is.
definitely, yeah, like I came up on here, knowing that, you might say something I don't like, you might say something I do like, but at the end of the day, it's not going to pay me any mind to get upset at you for telling me the truth, So,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
That's it. It's just the truth. The truth hurts
you got
sometimes.
to have a
It's true.
certain mindset,
Mm-hmm.
it's all about the way the perspective that you view things,
Yeah.
So,
The truth hurts to the people who are ignorant. Like if you came into this thinking one way and then you come talk to me and I'm tell you the truth, but you were thinking glitz and glamour, right? Yeah, you're gonna feel like I'm crushing your dreams.
I was
Because
feeling glitz and glamour until I stumbled on your content and then, you you know, brought me down to reality to really think about it.
and to
Think
me
about it
it's
more than what I was.
and to me it's crazy. Like I don't understand like why people think this industry is rosy and peachy when the failure rate is so high. So that just goes back to what I talk about, the ignorance. How is something rosy and peachy when the failure rate and the success rate is day and night? It's not even close. It's not even close. And it's not because so many people are stupid. It's because the industry is hard. And only the strongest are going to survive, period. Not like, this is what it is. So how can I be, you know, super duper giddy when the industry ain't that way? I give it to you the way it is. I ain't got listen, there's nothing I don't got shit for you. I don't got nothing for you to like me and want to click the link again and come back. I have no nothing to where I gotta finesse you or not really give you the full truth because I don't want to deter you from coming back or clicking or buying. I don't have nothing for you to come back. Like I don't need to give you good customer service. You see what I'm saying? Because I
I
don't
know
need
that feeling.
right. I don't gotta give you good customer service. The beautiful thing about me is I can just give it to you the way it is. And that's just it.
Yeah.
I don't not selling you nothing. Don't mention shit. I don't care. I kiss kick people off. I did all type of shit. It's what it is. It's it. This industry will chew you up and spit you out if you allow it to. There's people in here right now that are successful. There's people in here that came in during the pandemic that are in that small percentage of people that were able to come in during that time period and fight and become part of that small percentage of people that made it. There's people in here that I see that have went through years of being in this industry and have retired from it. There's people in here that I see that are on the brink of retirement. There's people that are in here that are half a decade in. There's people in here that are successful in moving. There's people in here that are successful in Final Mile. There's people in here that are successful in OTR. There's people in here that are struggling.
Now, when you bring up Final Mile, that's what you're kind of saying my area doesn't have, right? Because we're so small, right? Like we don't
Milwaukee
have.
got no. You got probably opportunity down in Milwaukee, but there's
Mhm.
trucks that come from Illinois that come up to Milwaukee to do Final Mile.
Yeah.
There's routes that go up to Milwaukee, not out of the city Chicago. They come out of like Wooddale, Melrose Park, that cover that area, southern part of Wisconsin, Kenosha, shit like that, that go up to Milwaukee. There's routes that come out of Chicago, Final Mile, that go to Indianapolis every day and turn around and come back out of Melrose Park because those markets have hard time sourcing talent because they're small markets. So if you're out of Milwaukee, there's opportunity there. I mean, in Milwaukee, but with Final Mile, you have
So
to big and bulky. You're going to need a partner unless you find something curbside, which is very scarce nowadays. Opportunities are scarce
yeah.
because they're all taken.
Hmm.
Mm. What were you finna say? So what?
All right. So you know, honestly, like you said, my probably my best niche is going OTR.
With that cargo van, that's what I would say. I mean, if you were in Chicago, you could you'd work really really hard, but you can if you were able to get a dedicated route, you could do 75, 80,000. The piece counts are there. Still we got the population and that will support, that will allow you to have a large piece count where you can make money. A lot of the government places, they still order shit. All that shit comes out of the 3PLs, so schools, shit like that. Um, but up where you're at, population is is small. So OTR probably be your best bet. You want to make money, like you don't want to just be doing this shit. I know you said the money ain't the, but like ain't no sense of doing it if you ain't making no money.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I wouldn't be doing this shit if I were you, if it wasn't for the money.
Like I said, it's not the only thing, Like
What's not the only thing?
there's other money's not the only thing, right? Like obviously it would be nice to continue to make. Obviously, you need to make money if you're running a business. Like you
Well,
can't run a
what
business
else
to
is it?
lose money.
What else is it? If it ain't about the money, what else is it?
I'm just feeding that inner drive, man.
Oh man, I
Like
don't care. Hey man, listen, check it out, pimp. I would shovel shit. If I had to shovel shit and it was paying, then that's what I'm gonna do. I don't care about all that extra shit. Listen, first 3 years and then the last 3 years, I had to physically be active. And then there was 6, 7 years in between where I was sat in the office. Do you think at 40 years old when the pandemic hit, I wanted to get on a moving truck and lift heavy shit?
probably not.
Not at that age? What about 41 in 2021? What about 42? No. It paid exceptionally well. I mean, I had to get back out there. Nobody wanted to work. It paid exceptionally well. If something pays good, I don't care what it is. Me personally, and I'm from an older generation. I'm from a generation where there's people that are in careers that love what they're doing, and there's people that just go to work to pay the bills, to have a comfortable life. Now, I'm not a person that you know, like I didn't hate it. You know what I'm saying? When I had to be in the field, but it wasn't something that I was fucking jumping out of bed to go, like, happy to go do either. But at the end of the day, it had to be done. I understand the younger generation is just concerned about like work life balance and all this shit, and that's great and all, but the money is the motivator. That's the driving factor, big dog. It's about that money. Now I could be wrong, but life is so much better when you got that money, man. Like a lot of this shit that people be worrying about, they wouldn't have to worry about that shit. Y'all generation, why y'all so like worried about like what was the what did you say? You said not about the money. What was the other thing you said? What was that?
Trying to,
Are you froze? Are you froze?
I can you hear me?
I hear you, but you froze.
Yeah, I think my screen. It looks like my camera's froze up, but I can hear
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
Yeah, what was that other thing you said? Not the money. You said the other thing you want to do for. What was that?
yeah. Proven proven to myself that
No, no,
I
that's not
can
what you
run a
said.
business,
It was something
but
else you said.
feeding the inner drive.
Yeah, that. I mean, if that's what makes you happy, then fine. That money make me happy. I need that money, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. Around the beginning. I'd like to, work hard to make a lot of money. Work as hard as I possibly can. Then I got called a pocket watcher.
Who called you?
So,
Oh, I
it's
called you that,
like,
right? I called you that
yeah, yeah.
today, or did I call you that in the video? Did you feel like I
You
called
called
you
me
that in the
that.
video today?
No, you said, yeah, you called me that today. You can play it back.
What did I
It's all
say?
good. You know, because I was
Oh,
talking.
yeah, I remember. Yeah, you said you got tired of making other people rich.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
you
Nah,
know,
man. No, 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 that ain't
and
good.
and I'm not, like obviously money's the motivation, right? But like going about making the money the right way is the best possible outcome for success. Having a business plan, doing your due diligence, checking your markets, all the stuff that you preach, like, I'm not like, and like I said, like I still work right now. I ain't quit my job yet,
I know.
I ain't dead,
I know.
so, I want to go chase the dollars on the truck, in the van, like do what I can,
Get to it then. Get to it.
you know,
Yeah.
I was just, looking for a perspective. Like you said, you're here to hold people accountable,
No, no,
so,
no,
I
no.
was,
I'm not. Not
well,
necessarily. I'm not.
that's not your, yeah, no,
That's not like
but
what the channel is
that's one
built
of the
on. But
things you do. No,
now
no.
and again, now and again. Let's not
It is
get
in the
carried away.
description. It is in the description, dog. You put it in your description. You just
Eh,
hold people
eh,
accountable.
oh, maybe
But
it is. Okay. Yeah. But what? But what? Talk to me. Talk to me, big dog.
but
Talk to me.
but like the there's only there's the people who make the money to pay the people, and then there's the people that go to work to get paid, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to be an overnight success, but eventually, 10, 15 years down the line, I want to be the person writing the checks, not the person cashing them.
Okay.
Like in that sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying, I'm not thinking I'm gonna get in the game, make plenty money right away, because that's not realistic.
Hmm.
I know there's a grind to it. I mean, but that's what started any business. It's not like this was the only thing I looked into, and I was like, oh man, I'm going to jump in the cargo van or the box truck business. Originally I thought, because I am so successful in the restaurant management and in the restaurant industry, I was like, all right, take a look at this first. Like, man, an upfront investment. I ain't got that kind of money, and the margins ain't good. You know, I looked at, you know, like e-commerce and shit like that, and I just can't get behind that either. I don't understand it, so I can't get into a field that I don't really understand that I've never done. Like Shopify and some of this other shit that people be spewing all the time.
Oh. Go ahead, man. Do the cargo van thing, bro. I mean, I like you listening to you is why I'm just listening. Like I've heard, if I've talked to you a zillion times before I talk to you. Everybody at your age, you all you guys think the same. And I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just I'm just saying I've been here before. Like work is just not. You feel like it's not in the cards for you. Working for somebody is just not in the cards for you anymore, and you're searching for something that you can do on your own and say that you're your own boss, right?
Yeah, yeah, be my own boss, but like not to stop working because you can't ever just stop working. Even you work,
Well,
even you might not be in the box truck, but you work. I'm sure you do shit every single day to help make you some money. You know, I mean,
the money's
I could
work.
be wrong.
Money works. You get to a point where the money works for you. I'm literally, to be honest with you, I'm literally here at the house. I'm in the Discord. Like if you're in my Discord, then you know what I'm doing all day. So, like I'm literally in my Discord all day, pretty much for the most part. And like I'm not doing anything physically, but yeah, income's coming in, but I'm not like leaving the house or anything like that. I'm chilling, like chilling and shit. Like I'll go to the gym, go to the grocery store, or something like that. Come back home, just be chilling.
How old were you when you got into the game and you wanted to start this dream?
Well, this wasn't even a dream.
Oh wait,
Like,
right?
like no,
When
2010.
the
This wasn't a
avalanche.
dream. It was 2010. It was 2010, and it wasn't a
Yeah.
dream. I stumbled up on this.
Hmm.
My goal was to get out of school and go get a career, go get a job. Like that was what the goal plan was for me. It never came into fruition. I tried, but no one would give me an opportunity. This is during a time period where everybody worked jobs. Like everybody had careers, and there was no gig. Like the mindset that you have, that wasn't the mindset then. It was work. Go to high school, learn a vocation, graduate high school, work. Or graduate high school, go to college so that you can get a job in whatever it is you're studying in your field so that you can get a job and work. You know, um, I didn't get, no one hired me, right, for whatever reason. So my 20s were just, bouncing around, you know, working, but bouncing around trying to figure things out. And I stumbled across this. And when I stumbled across it, doing it, I realized shortly after doing it as a hustle, operating off Craigslist, that I could turn it into a business, in which I did. This was never in the plan. Like I never said I'm gonna do this. So no. So
You were around my age though when you stumbled upon it, and worked your ass off to get to where you are 10, 15 years later.
When I came into this, it was a lot different than it is now. And I say it all the
Yeah.
time. I've been very transparent since I've
Hmm.
started this channel. I say it all the time. This is a different industry now. It's different. It's a lot harder now. Um, it's more difficult. As time goes on, things become more difficult. So a lot of the opportunities, a lot of the things that you have to deal with now in this industry, coming in on the new, I didn't have to deal with. What you're getting paid, what the average person gets paid in this industry now, is what they were getting paid then. I say it all the time. The only thing that's changed is the cost of operation has gone up significantly. So if what if the revenue that you're bringing in now, people that were operating 15 years ago are bringing that same revenue in then, but the costs were way cheaper, is the reason why so many people are complaining today. So I can tell you. So when I tell people the harsh reality, what gets them? This is why they get upset. If I'm getting paid in 2013 $600, 650 on a guarantee in 2013 for a final amount contract, Bob's is paying 650 today. Literally, some markets 700. Whoop de doo, what's fucking $15 in 12 years?
Yeah.
600, 650 in 2013, 2014, and they're paying that same fucking shit today. Fuel was slightly
Yeah.
cheaper then. Insurance was way cheaper then. Labor was hell of a lot cheaper then. Tolls were cheaper then. All costs associated to get that 650 were way cheaper. That 650 took you further. That same 650 that is being paid today is cost you a lot more. So at the end of the day, you don't have a lot of money left like you would 11, 12 years ago, if any money at all, right? Because now you got a lot of people that are coming in, they're renting a truck. Back then, you could rent a truck and not even have to think about buying a truck if you didn't want to. Because guess what? Your rental was $450 for a 26-foot box truck. And they would give you 1,500 free miles a week. You didn't have to jump through the hoops that you got to jump through to get the truck. You literally just go, give your debit card, sign a paper, go out, do a walk around, and that was it. Now some places make you put a huge down payment, all this other goofy shit. Like everything is different now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why. That's what I was saying that earlier. Like that's kind of what really scared me about the whole box truck, right? Box truck, box truck dreams, and you definitely steered me away from it
That
because I
wasn't the
was,
goal.
I,
That
I
wasn't the goal.
no, no, but your goal was, obviously, like from what I've seen from you is like your goal is to make people really think about everything about it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the what you said spoke to me in a way where it's like I'm not ready to do a box truck right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I don't have the.
did it resonate you? Was it true when you looked at the video and then you looked at your situation? Did it make sense?
Yeah, like I said, I slept on it for days about it, thinking about it all the time. Like, man, like. Like I thought I'd be cool with 10,000, 6 to 10,000 working capital, and you're like, nah, 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 that's not enough working capital, man. It's just
Mhm.
not.
So imagine at
So
that time, imagine at that time when you were thinking about it, you went and you did it then. And
time to get
when was
fucking
this?
full.
Okay. When was this? When was this? When were you having these thoughts? When was this? Where were we, was it
Which thoughts about
2025,
the box truck
2024?
stuff?
Yeah, what year was this,
About the box trucks?
2024? Yeah.
End of 2024, yeah.
Okay, into 2024. So if you would have did that then, where do you think you would be at right now?
Calling you a dream crusher, probably.
No, no, no. You wouldn't be calling me a
I'd
dream
be
crusher.
one of
You
those sour people.
no,
I'd be
no, no,
one of those
no.
sour people.
If you would have took the 6,000 then in the end of 2024 and jumped into the box truck, where would you be now in April of 2025?
Oh. I mean, I probably would have been, I probably wouldn't have been in the business because I
Mm,
wouldn't have known that I didn't have enough working capital.
mm, mm, mm. And then look what happened. Rates. Look what's going on right
Oh no,
now. It's no freight.
oh
Oh,
yeah,
it's
well
no.
yeah, I thought you were talking about the rates, but yeah, the freight rate, yeah,
You said
yeah.
the rates went
So
up. Where did they go up at?
I thought you were talking about like the rental rates, like because
Oh
that was
no,
like
no, no.
my original. No, no, no. But I was just
No.
miscommunication.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's people out there that'll tell you that you can start. I disagree. I think the reason why I disagree, you're living in it right now. You're seeing it. It's been all around you the whole time, not just now. You can't run a business without no money. It's a lot of uncertainty. Some people that tell you, well, you never know until you try, and then that's why I say, well, all right, well, let's look at let's look at your circumstances. Let's measure your risk tolerance. There's people that have come up here that are in way up worse situation. Well, you're not even in a bad situation, but there's people that come up here that are in bad situations, and people tell them, "No, man, don't listen to Mark. Just do it."
Yeah, I've seen those videos. I've seen those
All right,
videos.
well, people will send you off. The point I'm trying to make is people will send you off. People get sent off every day. It's people sitting in jail right now because they got sent off. We call them here down here in Chicago, send offs. So a lot of people that get sent off. Some people believe you can start a business that you're gonna make $200,000, $300,000 a year, and you can start it with $3,500. Use a send off.
Yeah, I mean, even when I heard
It's
that dumb
people
shit, like you could
send
start a box
offs,
truck company for $5,000. It was wild. I'm like, there's no fucking
send
way.
off. There's people, and guess what? The people that believe it and they fail, and then they come with these sad ass stories. They send offs. This is the same person you put a thumper in their hand and say go shoot somebody, and then they end up in jail with the mug shot with their eyes all red and shit because they was high on a pill and they didn't realize what they was doing until they sobered up and they was locked up, and then they coming out of it, and then they found out they went and crashed out the night before and did something they shouldn't have did because somebody told them to do it. Send off.
Now you think that's what and I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but I'm asking you, like, just from the conversations we've been having over the, past 30, 40 minutes, am I sending myself off in your view?
No, I think you're just confused and lost. I think you should, and it's obvious because I'm looking at you. I'm paying attention. You got a lot of thought. You weighing it. You've already been contemplating for 6, 7 months. You know what I'm saying, or longer. If you're talking about, yeah, about 6, 7 months or longer. So the risks that are associated with it, and that's what's hindering you. You know, um, But I also understand because I do content, so I get a chance to talk to a lot of people your age that I understand what's going on with y'all mindset right now and what's being pushed on social media. So you're in the age category that falls victim to that type of content. So I get it. I understand it. But I'm just here to tell you the risks that are associated with it and give you the statistics. Majority of the people that come into business fail. Not being a Debbie Downer, I'm just being honest. Did you hear the what I told Kirk earlier? Like you got content out
Um,
there that's just gonna push one thing good.
yeah.
And that's why another reason so many people fail because they come into business thinking this is just gonna always be up and to the right. And life. What's crazy is life ain't even like that.
No.
Life ain't even like that. So don't tell me about no good. Just tell me have a good day. Only tell me what I need to look out for. If it's shit gonna be good, just tell me have a good day and going about my business. It's nothing you can tell me. If the skies are gonna be blue and the roses are gonna be red and everything is just gonna be great, there ain't nothing for you really. That's nothing you to forewarn me about. That's why I gave the example to Kurt that I did. If I'm going where it's safe at, just tell me have a good day. If I'm telling you I'm going where it's not so safe at, yo, you sure you want to go over there? How long you gonna be over there for? Who you going over to see? Why you going over there? Send me your location. It is what it is. I don't need to know nothing that's good. Good can't hurt me. Tell me what I need to prevent. And if I can't prevent it, tell me how to overcome it. So I don't get caught up in success porn content. That shit don't. A lot of people in your age demographic do.
I would agree.
So, but if you want to go do it, then go do it. Just understand that, work really, really hard to make it work. And if it doesn't work, just accept the reality. I think your situation, I mean, I don't know what you got saved up, but, it's nothing like you
Right now
haven't
I got
told
about
me.
6K.
Ain't enough. Ain't enough.
Where like I said, like I'm still working my job. Like,
Keep stacking, big
you
dog.
know,
Keep stacking.
what I mean, if you were starting today, what would number would you feel comfortable at?
For a cargo van,
Like, so I can, yeah,
you will at least have 10K working capital. Shit.
well, that's what, okay. So I need about four more thousand saved up for working capital.
Yeah, but
'Cause,
then you gotta need that. But that's working capital. That doesn't. That's after you get everything to get started. Still gotta acquire the van. You gotta get your equipment, insurance.
like I said, yeah, I know I still gotta get insurance and stuff, but like if I- if
You
I'm
you don't
still
need you don't need as much
if
working
I'm
capital
working,
with a cargo van like you would need with a box truck, but you're gonna need some
yeah,
money.
yeah. So, like I said, I've been paying stuff, buying stuff, like, like I said,
So
I paid,
so
got
so
my authority, I
you got
got
you
equipment, pallet strap, pallet jacks,
you don't need that.
not a
You're
pallet
gonna get
jack,
a van. What do you need?
straps.
What do
I'm
you?
talking about
Oh,
straps. No, yeah, 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 no, yeah, wrong words. You know, got the straps. I have a dolly. I've had a dolly for years. It sits in my garage and collects dust. You know, I got, even for, I got tools if I got to do, I have tools, and I would just say I got like my own tools because like some of the stuff that I've seen that you can do is just like, appliance delivery and stuff like that. You
not in
have
a
to have
van,
tools
bro.
for that,
Not in a
you know.
van. But go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah. Like as far as like equipment, like what else, you know, what else am I gonna need, other than the van, which even even with even with where I'm at now, like I mean, I got money coming in and I got passive money coming in
So
that,
look,
I
look,
don't
look,
even
look.
work for.
Let me just make this. Let me just
Yeah.
make this. What type of van do you
Go
want?
ahead.
What type of van do you want, Doc?
I was looking at the Transit 250s,
All right. So look, what's your credit look like?
about 730, 740, fluctuates.
All right. So
And like I said, I'm trying to find a way because like I don't see a problem driving a cargo van as like a means of transportation to get to and from work if I needed to.
why do you keep talking about work, bro? Why do you keep talking about work? What do you mean going to and
Because I
from
was
work? The cargo van is your
like
work.
yeah, no, I mean like right now. I mean like right now in this stage, right? Like if I can get out of my actual daily driving car note and switch that car note to a cargo van note, you know what I'm saying? And now, my expense outside of the business isn't going to be, oh, I got to pay my car note. The cargo van it's that's what I'm using to pay the note, and that's the only one.
The
So I'm
business
trying
is
to
pay,
find a way to,
the business is gonna pay uh the note. The business is paying for the van.
yeah, exactly. So if I can get out of my car and own, because my wife has a car, like if I need to get to and from places, I can use your car. But if I can get out of my note, so I don't have that expense, right? So now my expenses that I already don't have are even less.
Your expenses are
And
low now, even with the car. Like getting rid of the car, I don't think is a big deal. Your note is $300 and something
no,
dollars a month.
yeah,
Man,
my insurance
I
is
ain't had
only
a
like
$300 note since 99, 2000. God damn. What kind of car
you
you
big
got?
dog
That you
now, man.
three
What do you mean? You
but
big dog? You ain't got
shit. Nigga, I picked up a $600 note, $650 note in 2002. That Avalanche that you mentioned, I got that brand new in '02, and that note was $660 a month.
well, I bought it used back in 2020 when the
What do you got?
interest rates on used cars were super low. I got a 2017 Buick Encore, which I also signed up for some of those gig apps with that as the thing that I was approved for some of that shit with that vehicle. Because when I heard you say that, it's like, all right, well, let's just go and try and see these apps and see if any of these will accept my vehicle. They do it. It's a compact SUV. It's not huge. It's good on gas.
Man, you seem like a really nice guy, man. And when I say nice guy, I mean like I'm not like trying to like make you because I heard that like when you tell a person that they a nice guy, that's like making them feel like they weak or something. That's not what I mean.
Oh, I
What
don't.
I'm saying,
No, yeah.
no, like just talking to you. You seem like a really good person, right? So I'm gonna give you some advice, right? If you want to go in this cargo van thing, you want to clearly you know the number that I would think in your head that you would need to be at. I don't think you're thinking that number. So what I would do if I was you, you want a Ford 250, I would try to find one at a Ford dealership. That way you can go in there and deal with a traditional bank. The video that you saw when I was showing like the Amazon vans, how they're getting rid of like their 18s, their 19s and 20s or 20, whatever the years are.
Yeah,
Those are
18 to
those
21.
all right, those are cash deals. Those are cash
Yeah.
deals, and you ain't got the cash. So if this is something that you really want to do, you're gonna have to find a used Transit 250. You're gonna have to find it at a Ford dealership, pre-owned, certified, and you got to use your credit as leverage to go in there and kind of, if you can, get it. Hopefully, no money down, or minimal amount of money down, right? Which will kind of help, you know, relieve you of, spending some of the money that you have saved up. And then from there, if you can do that, you can get to 10 grand, save up 10 grand, and have at it. Because it sounds like you're sold on this. You're just looking for validation, really. You're just looking for validation. You're gonna do it anyway. You just need that validation, and that validation is just gonna make you feel better. So the only thing that I'm gonna tell you is that when you do get it, you're gonna work. If you don't work, it's not gonna work for you. You gotta work. You get a cargo van, you go over the road, you're gonna have to work. So you're not gonna see your wife. You're not coming home now. You ain't coming home. It's expedited. You're gonna be driving. Expedited means just that, expedited. It's gotta get there. So I can't help make the decision for you. Like all the other things that are going through your head, like those are decisions that you're gonna have to deal with on your own. But based on what you told me, I think you can make it work. I think you can make it work.
That's what I feel too. I feel like I can make it work.
All right.
I'm not like, I'm not necessarily looking for validation. Is more of like I like your content because you make people think about the stuff that you're trying to make me think about right now. Like, all right, man, if you get it, you got to go. You're not going to see your wife. You're not going to see your family for weeks, like you said, and I kind of, I already figured I was going to have to do that anyway if I was originally thinking of fucking box trucks, you know,
Box truck, I'm gonna
sure there
tell you
might be a,
straight up. If you were telling me box truck, I would be telling you absolutely no. I would be holding you accountable.
yeah,
The only reason I'm not
yeah,
is because uh, you can enter with a cargo van a lot cheaper. You can actually go to a Ford dealership and buy a cargo van, and a traditional bank will finance it. You don't have to go through these hard money lenders like a lot of the box truck guys have to go through when they buy from Penske and Ryder and Enterprise and shit like that. You can actually go to Ford and get a pre-owned certified and get financed through Wells Fargo, get financed through Ally, get financed through BOA, a traditional bank, and depending on, you know, how you negotiate and where your credit score is would determine a down payment or if you would have to put a down payment at all. which will help kind of alleviate some of the financial pressure, and that'll allow you to keep more of your cash to use as working capital. Versus if you go the other route, you're going to relinquish a lot of that out the gate. So that's the only reason I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? But you're going to have to work,
That's
so
the one
that
thing I'm not afraid to do. I'm not afraid
no,
of the work.
and that's fine. But I heard you mention that 16 hours days. No, 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 big dog. You're gonna be driving 16 hours, and it ain't gonna be in the direction of home. So when
Oh
you
yeah, no,
told it, yeah, yeah,
I know what OTR is, man, and
yeah. So,
like I know I ain't, like I saying, I'm gonna work for 16 hours and I'm driving for 16 hours, to get it
mm-hmm.
to the place, and then I'm gonna have to find another place where I'm gonna be driving for 16 more hours, probably not in the same way that I just came from.
Maybe longer. Like I see some of
Yeah.
these guys that be in my Discord, like literally, we'll be talking. I'll be in there kicking it. I'll go to sleep at 1, 2 in the morning. I'll wake up at 6 in the morning. I'll peek in there. They still in there. I'll get up at 8. I'm cooking breakfast at 9, 10. They still in there talking shit. Still driving. Now it's 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They still driving. This is what expedited OTR is in a cargo van. It's exactly what it is, expedited. So it's pulling over, taking a quick little power nap, quick little cat nap, and getting right back to it. So if that's what you want to do, go ahead, go for it. If you're looking for validation, there you have it.
No, I mean, like I said, I wasn't just on here for I'm not trying to just get validation. I do want to hear that. It is comforting hearing that. It's not like you're doing a dumb fucking thing, idiot. Don't do it. Like I don't want to hear that. Like I mean,
No,
I'm
I would
hoping
have
not
told
to
you
hear
that.
that.
I would
Not
have
that I
told
don't
you.
want.
No, no, no. I would
Yeah.
tell you. Trust me. Don't worry about it.
No, I know.
I would tell you.
I
And
know.
if you were absolutely talking about a box truck right now with the working capital you got and some of the stuff that we talked about, that's what I would be saying to you. But you're not. You talk about a cargo van, and what you told me, and with it being a cargo van, I'm, I'm, I'm. If that's what you want to do, go ahead. You got you. I think you can. You just gonna work. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. And like I said, I mean, like I was more looking for like honest, like strategizing on ways to make the money with the van, right?
So I
You
gave them
know.
to you. You gotta go. You gotta go over
Oh
the
yeah,
road.
I know. I wrote them
You
down.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You live in
Yeah. I
too
know.
small of a market. You live in too small of a market.
Yeah.
Too small of a
And
market
that's
for
what I
that
was.
local.
Yeah.
Too small of a market. Now, if you want to come down to Chicago, but then that's a hike every day.
It's about 2 hours.
Where are you at in Wisconsin?
I'm Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I think it's about 2.5 hours.
That's gotta be longer than 2. It might be. Let's see.
It's 155 miles. I'm pretty sure. Let's see.
Yeah, 178 miles,
Yeah,
2 hours.
155 miles, 2 hours and 43 minutes.
So,
I'd be closer to getting to that area than I would be, pushing up towards
so,
Minnesota and
so, so, so,
Minneapolis and the metropolis area. That's
so let's
4 hours
say,
from where
so
I'm
let's
at.
say, so let's say you got a dedicated route here. Nine
Hmm.
times out of 10, you'll be going to Wooddale to pick it up over by Elk Grove Village, Wooddale. But then wherever that route takes you, so you got 3 hours to get to Chicago, run a route, 3 hours to get home. Like a lot of the money that you made is ate up in travel and time.
Yeah,
Time, like, so it's not even worth it. So
no.
like you
And
have to go
I guess I
OTR.
didn't even bring this up to you, but like, my wife works at a hotel. So And that's one thing she said. She goes like, well, shit, like if you got to go somewhere and you got to go there for a week, 2 weeks to make some money before you come home for a couple days or whatever you need to do, you know,
Not worth it,
obviously.
bro. Not worth it. If you come to Chicago, let's say, to run local, you're averaging about $300 a day, give or take. And how much you spending on a room a night? That doesn't make any sense, unless you're gonna sleep in a van. But that don't even make any sense
Mhm.
either. So, like, you gotta go over the road. You know what I'm saying? You have to. So as long as you're equipped mentally to go over the road, then go for it.
I will. I will. I figured that was the main option for me. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What else you got for me, big dog? Mm.
Shit, man, I'm nothing, man. I'll get up out and out of here.
All right. You
But
got the
do want
information
to
you
thank you
needed?
for your time, man. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I got information I didn't have before, so questions answered. So appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you for being patient. I saw you in the back waiting, so
All right, good.
all right.
All
Good
right,
luck,
man.
man.
Yeah, peace out. Thanks.
Later.